Hey everyone, I just wanted to come on and talk very quickly about this topic today. I know that there's been a lot of discussion online about the election. First of all, I just want to send my love, my support, my solidarity to all of our friends over in the US and all of the people who've been affected by the election. My heart is with you. I think a lot of people have got confused about the concept of acceptance, inclusion and tolerance. They say that the LGBT community needs to be inclusive and tolerant, and we need to accept, Trump supporters. There were some LGBT people who voted for Trump, and a lot of our community have been saying, well, you don't belong in the community anymore. You're not to be included anymore. And people have been getting very upset, saying you're hypocrites. How can you seek to promote inclusion and acceptance when you're not including and accepting us? I just want to explain very quickly how inclusion and acceptance works for the avoidance of doubt. So inclusion is about including people based on who they are, their traits, yeah? So that's things that you're either born with or that you can't help. So race, sexuality, gender, disability, that kind of thing, right? Every group should include people based off of that. You should never exclude somebody because of something that is innate to them that they can't help. What you don't always include people for are their actions. Okay, so if somebody takes an active decision to vote for a party that has openly stated that they intend to cause harm to your community, then it is expected that you're not going to be particularly welcome in that community anymore. Every group in society would have reasonable boundaries to protect themselves from harm. So let's just say that you have a restaurant, right? And you have all your customers, and there's one customer or a group of customers that come in and start smashing glasses, smashing plates, shouting at the other customers, causing harm, causing damage. You're going to ban them from your restaurant. They're going to be barred, right? That would be completely normal. If you didn't do that, you wouldn't be protecting your other customers. Similarly, imagine that there's a party, right? And one of the guests to your party is being rude and horrible and disrespectful to the other guests. Well, they're probably not going to get invited back next time, right? So every group and every situation in society has these rules and boundaries and expectations to protect themselves from harm. And so the LGBTQ plus community is very obviously going to have those kind of boundaries when it comes to people who vote for parties that wish them harm. Now you might say, oh, but voting for Trump or voting for conservative parties doesn't necessarily mean, let me just stop you there. Voting for a conservative right-wing party, such as the Republicans under Donald Trump, is pretty much the most obvious way that you, as an everyday person, can show that you overtly support harm onto the LGBT community. There is almost no other way that you can do that which is more effective and more direct and more obvious and has more impact on us as LGBT people than voting for Trump or voting conservative. It is literally showing your support for laws to be made that discriminate against us. People to be in power who overtly express harmful rhetoric towards us. Support for a group of people, a party who have throughout their history objectively and proactively fought to cause us harm. These are people who, if it was left up to them, we would still be criminalized. And that's not an exaggeration. That is literally just the truth. Okay, Donald Trump wants to, for example, practically erase and annihilate trans people from public life. He denies their existence. So if you're part of the LGBT community, you can't support that and then be confused as to why you're not welcome in. Do you see what I mean? So you can't have it both ways, and it's very reasonable for us to have those boundaries in place. Now, some people will say, oh, but you're a hypocrite, you're just as bad, you're just as divisive as the right-wing parties. And, some people in our community might be thinking that, oh, I want to be inclusive, I don't want to be just as bad, I don't want to divide. No, let me explain. Trump supporters actively intend to cause harm and discriminate against LGBT people for being LGBT, for who they are. Yeah, they are intolerant of our existence as people, and they want to put in place legislation to restrict us and make us unequal and make our lives difficult. That's what they proactively do. That's what they stand for, right? The LGBT community don't wish any harm on straight people or gender conforming people. We don't set out to enact laws or set out to cause harm to people because they're straight. We don't have a problem with straight people. We don't go around arguing that straight people are evil or straight people are wrong or telling straight people that they can't get married. We don't go around telling, cisgender people that they, are not biological or, somehow unnatural, or that there's a problem with them or they shouldn't, we don't, that's not, that's never been something that queer people would ever dream of. So there's no equality there in terms of what they are trying to do to us and what we're trying to do to them. We're not trying to do anything to them. All that we are trying to do to them is to prevent them from harming us. And that's the important part. Okay? So defending yourself, having reasonable boundaries, is not on an equal playing field to the original harm that they are proactively getting out of bed every morning and wanting to enact. So if you don't feel comfortable being around Trump supporters, conservatives, gay or bi people who voted for Trump or vote conservative, that's actually quite valid. Obviously, everybody has their own opinion of this, and different people will feel comfortable with different things, and that's completely okay. It's not for me or anyone else to tell you what to do, for sure. What I'm just saying is that if you are somebody who feels uncomfortable, who feels unsafe, then it is absolutely within your right to say, do you know what, I'm going to put a boundary here, and I'm going to create safe spaces with my people. So that's just what I wanted to say. What do you think? I know this is kind of a tricky issue, so if anybody is struggling with it, please let me know. You are not alone. We are all in this together. Please remember that you have a community all over the world who love you and who are here for you. If you are struggling, please reach out. Not Defining is here for you, and let me know what you think. Listen, stay safe and have a wonderful day. Bye for now.